Hello and welcome back to my discussion with Nan Li. Nan is a thought leader in human-centric AI, and this is segment 2 of our interview. We dealt with, in segment 1, Nan's journey and some of the key learnings that she has from her journey that she's been focused on a lot of the leading edge stuff in data analytics, AI, machine learning, and statistics. And that was certainly fascinating. And if you haven't watched segment 1, make sure you go back and find it, because I think it'll give you good context for the discussion we're having here in segment 2 and in segment 3. So with that said, Nan, welcome back. And this segment, we're going to focus on a framework for human-centric AI. So many people are, rushing out and doing things, and the value of a framework is really to provide some guidance and some guardrails, if you like, for people to really start using as a thinking tool as they approach these exciting technologies and what they can do for the business. So I'd like to kick us off in this segment by just asking the question: how does your human-centric AI framework guide an organization to develop and implement a successful AI strategy?
Yeah, having an AI strategy very important, but I also have a business strategy even more important. I'm a visual person. Actually, I like to put things in visual framework. In the interview, I cannot show the picture, but I'm trying to describe so you can visualize in your mind. I will simplify that into a few question words we're familiar with. My framework is very simple, starting with why, who and what, how, and so what. So let me explain to you. Like I talk about, AI strategy should always start with the business strategy. In the business strategic plan, it should clearly articulate where and how AI will help the business grow and thrive. Then AI strategy's role is to fill and fulfill that goals. Strategy is all about validating assumptions, deciding what not to do, and make important trade-off decisions. So let's start why. Why does your business exist in the first place? What is AI's strategic role in your business? I categorize into 4 types. One is AI as the value driver, basically a competitive advantage for your business? This is definitely true for OpenAI, Anthropic. AI is your business. Is there a competitive advantage? That's a value driver. But most of us, we're not in the AI business. The next category will be, is AI your key enabler? Enabling, enhancing your competitive advantage. For example, like imaging analysis for healthcare companies or drug discovery. That's the core for pharmaceutical companies. They're not in AI business, but AI is the key enabler for the competitive advantage. And that has same high strategic importance to the business. The third category will be, is AI a common utility? Right. Everyone will have it. For example, if you're transportation delivery business, route optimization, you have to do every day, but everyone will have it. So you have to have it right, but that doesn't make you a different from others. And the last type could be AI can play a critical defender role to mitigate or manage your risk in the area. Actually, you don't want to make a mistake, but you want to invest heavily, for example, like a compliance area. Right. So each of the 4 categories carry different strategic importance. You have to make very clear on the why you want to do AI and how AI help your business is a key value, a key enabler, is a common utility, or critical defender. So that's done the why. Second, let's talk about who and what. Let's focus on people, not technology. Right? Who are you trying to impact? Who are you trying to benefit? And also, who needs to get involved in the process? People usually talk about the business versus technology, only 2 camps. Actually, I break them into 4 camps. Let me help you imagine that. One actually start with the business AI. I call them AI sponsor. This probably includes you, business case initiator, who approved the business case, the key decision maker, but also don't forget your finance partner. Who say yes for a business case. They're in the AI sponsor. They have a different needs. They want to see the return, right, on the money. Then let's move to the AI users. That's where you collect most requirements. The users can include your business user who will be using the AI tools you develop or would be impacted. For example, the job might be impacted by this. Also included the consumers or customers may interact with your AI tools or be impacted by AI tool if you use starting automation. The third category is AI builder, right? And the builder is not a homogeneous group. Actually, it's a cross-functional team. You have to include your experts from infrastructure, security, data science, engineering, developers, UX team, and that is the core development team. And it's not just from technology, from all across the company. And last persona I will call out, I call AI protectors. Right. And they include your legal department, compliance, ethics, risk, audit, security, even your vendor management. These groups will keep you out of trouble. And sometimes you want to engage them earlier in the process. So, and when you're trying to build an AI solution, collect requirements, you're not you have to collect requirements from all of them, not just end user. You understand the return expectation from sponsors, what the user need and the tactical level and limitations, right? Comfortable level, skill set from AI builders, and also your protectors, what laws, regulation you have to comply with. So that's on who and what. Then next one is how you execute the strategy. I see there are 5 key components there. Again, I have a graph. If you like, I can share with you later. Comprised of data, governance and ethics, design, technology, and a model. Even I lead AI machine learning, you say I put the model last. Why? Because in most times when I work with business partners, I always ask them, assuming I already have a model that's ready and cool, tell me how you're going to change your process. Tell me what the future look like. If you don't have in mind, having a model will not help you at all, right? And then in the 5 key components, I always say you have to own data, governance, and design. Technology model in nowadays actually can be outsourced. Design will become increasingly important in the future and be a big focus. Particularly, I would say design on error handling, on exit strategy when we're trying to increase the portion of augmentation and automation. So my advice is don't focus on Gen AI only. Look at all the AI techniques as solutions and start with the tested, proven solutions first. That's going to save you time, money, energy, and reduce risk. Because in other technologies evolve so fast. I talk about you'll never be able to catch up, but focus on your core business value. And the last one is so what? Now you have everything. You need to get them out. You need to focus on change management and culture transformation. Change management is all about people. Leverage framework I talked about earlier, there's 4 different personas. When you design your change management plan and culture transformation, you have to have a tailored plan, tailored towards each of them. Each of them have a different understanding, have a different needs. So if you work each of them and they fold them in your AI literacy program, in your change manage program, you can bring the whole company, whole organization along the way with you.
I love it. That's a really great comprehensive framework, and I love starting it off with why. Get so many organizations get that wrong. And also the final point that you made around organizational change management and changing the culture. Getting this stuff adopted, making it part of the fabric of the organization, so important. Wow, that's a really good framework for sure. Now, within that framework, as you start, applying that framework, obviously one of the key things is everyone's comes running up and says, I need this or I need that. And they're all excited, and for each person, their request is the highest priority. But
Yeah.
you're sitting there saying, well, okay, I can't do everything at once. How am I going to prioritize all of these use cases within the framework? What's your approach there?
Also make it simple, right? I've seen so many different framework have so many dimensions, factors, like huge spreadsheets trying to score them. I would go that route too, but I will convert it into simple question. Is this a good idea worth pursuing now for us over others? I talk about in other conferences, people can relate to that. Let me explain that. Actually, there's 3 dimensions in this question, or maybe 4. One is value. Is this a good idea? Going back to our strategy connection, right? Is this connect to our strategic priority? Second is risk. Is this worth pursuing given the risk? You have to assess your risk. And the third one is the readiness and difficulty of getting it done or real. That's why worth pursuing now, right? Are we ready now for us? Pursuing now for us over others. Others meaning the prioritization, there's other ideas. So if you starting putting, I also give a label of high, low for each of the dimensions, right? Value, risk, readiness. And then you start getting this 2 by 2 by 2 matrix of 8 cells. And you can start label them and see the different impact of each use cases. Just give an example. If this use case is high value, low risk, and low difficulty, you say that's a no-brainer. Let's do it. Yes, that's a table stake. If you see that, others see that too. So that's great opportunity. You feel it's a genius idea. Actually, it become a table stake must have. There's opportunities. Maybe it's high value, low risk, but high difficulty. I call that a competitive advantage because if it's easy, everybody have it. You work on right thing, but hard thing. If you can figure out, you will lead in that way, right? You figure out what is that thing. There could be use cases that's high value, high risk, high difficulties. That's most difficult one. That's a strategic decision. Do you want to go after? I'll say some of the AI firms, they are going over after the hardest problem, right? Because that's a strategic decision. That is their core business. There could be the other things, I'll say the lower value side. For example, if it's low value, it's low risk, low difficulty. Then that's a no-brainer. Democratize and let people experiment that, right? Have everybody have that. But when you have the low value, high risk, it's complete waste of time. You have other important things to do, and with more guaranteed return. Why do you waste time on that? So this framework, it's very simple. Number one, ask one question, starting putting into 8 cells, give you a clear idea, right? What's your use case portfolio look like? How to align with your business strategy. And then using this one, it can guide you with your investment. You understand where you want to invest your time, energy, and also what maturity you want your people to reach eventually. So so another thing I want to mention is, in addition to this, focus on the value chain. Don't start with what technology could do, but start with what we would do and what should do, and find the best available technology to make it happen. So I've seen a lot of people doing POCs, gunshot approach. Let's do something here about marketing, do something here about compliance, do something about sales or underwriting, or talk about R&D. But they forgot to realize the business value. You need to have the benefit penetrate through the value chain. It's easy to claim short-term POC success if you do a certain steps, but you are not going to realize the sustained business value if you don't focusing on implementing the whole value chain, right? So, for example, you have to think about if you look at sales value, marketing value chain from prospecting, lead generation, lead nurturing, right, and closing the first deal and following up, you have to have AI help you whole process. Otherwise, you're going to have you improve one step, you have bottleneck in next step.
Right.
So because pretty soon, everybody's going to have AI capability, right? Building effective value chain takes a long time. It's difficult, but that gives you sustained competitive advantages. When everyone have AI, what separates you from the competition is still what value you can deliver to your customers and the trade-off decision you're willing to make.
Yeah, wise words, actually, really wise words. Because it's true. I mean, you look inside most companies, actually, they just got shotgun approach like you just described. They're trying to cover everything with AI, and they've got all these POCs, but then they don't amount to anything because, it's not driven all the way through the process. And, fixing something, but then essentially breaking another one because there's the volume and the acceleration through that process that you've looked at is now creating a major downstream traffic jam in the next piece of the process. It doesn't really help, and it just leads to everyone running around in a frenzy trying to fix, and it's chaos. So absolutely a more thoughtful approach is what's necessary. So excellent points there about how to think about this, how to structure your thinking, how to prioritize things within this framework. And I think that has teed us up very nicely for our third discussion that we're going to have in this interview, where we'll be talking about course corrections. So for our audience, please remember that this was part 2 of a 3-part. If you didn't pick up part 1, go back and check it out. And then keep your eyes open for part 3, or segment 3, where we're going to be talking about course corrections. So, Nan, thanks for segment 2, and we'll see you shortly in segment 3.
Thank you.